like we all know, has displayed all the classic manifestations of resistance to reforms. We've seen a lot of institutional inertia stopping the program from going. We've seen bandwidth rationality playing out in responses to the restructuring and rationalization report when it was first released in 2015. And it is our hope that as we begin this process, we'll be able to lay down something for posterity that we'll be able to be proud to be associated with.
It was in a bid to address the aforementioned, amongst others, that the Committee on the Restructuring and Rationalization of Federal Government Parastatals, Commissions and Agencies was constituted on 18 August 2011 and submitted its report on 16 April 2012. The report recommended that of the 541 statutory and non-statutory federal government parastatals, agencies and commissions, 263 statutory agencies should be reduced to 161. 38 agencies should be abolished, 52 agencies should be merged, and 14 should revert to departments in ministries. Nigeria has continued to suffer under a daily increasing weight of a high cost of governance, underpinned by high personnel and overhead costs, to the detriment of having adequate resources for development projects. For a long time now, the country has been struggling to make sure that at least 30% of its annual budget goes into capital projects. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you would all agree with me that the inability to implement the report of the Committee on Restructuring and Rationalization of Federal Government Parastatals, Agencies and Commissions is costing government highly. This cost grows higher for every delay that the implementation suffers. This is further worsened by the fact that immediately after the report was released, parastatals and agencies billed for mergers or scrapping began developing means of further entrenching themselves as a major expenditure source to government. Furthermore, new agencies were also created to even compound the situation more. The need for cutting down the cost of governance cannot be more compelling than now, especially in the face of our declining revenue and the need to make the federal government less of a cost center and more of a revenue generator on one hand, and on the other hand, less an employer of labor, but more as the creator of enabling environment for the private sector to galvanize the needed income streams and job opportunities for national development. These two committees, which are 1. To review the main report and white paper on restructuring and rationalization of federal government parastatals, agencies, and commissions. The second one is to review, the second committee is to review new agencies created after the submission of the above report from 2014 to date. We are therefore constituted to provide government with an action plan and roadmap of implementing the recommendations contained therein. I am aware that the time frame set for finalizing your assignments appear too stringent, but I have directed the Secretariat, headed by the DG Bureau of Public Service Reforms, to ensure that all resources are provided to enable speedy completion of this urgent national assignment. It is my hope that with the caliber of members of these committees, this national assignment will be carried out with total commitment and integrity. It is equally expected of members to conduct assigned duties in an open and transparent manner at all times.
You have said in the SGF speech that the timeline is very stringent, 6 weeks. We pray that God will give us the enablement. But we will do our best. We've all served this country, are still serving this country, and we know how important the outcome of these two subcommittees will be to the government, to governance, to our budget, because for long we have been talking about 30% for capital projects, 70% for overhead and all that, but I don't think we have been able to achieve that. But God being our helper, we'll do our utmost best to ensure that we produce reports and give advice that will enable government to take the best decision as far as it concerns these issues, the two committees. And for members of both committees, I know that we will all work very, very hard to ensure that we complete the assignments in good time for government to be able to proceed further with these issues.